cause of happiness. What about money? My mother wasn't particularly materialistic, but she just didn't think it would hurt to be comfortable. Was she right? Well, there's a lot of data on happiness and wealth, and there are two facts that seem very, very robust, that seem to come out no matter how you measure it, and they are these. The first is the fact that economists refer to as diminishing marginal utility, which for the rest of us simply means a little money matters a lot and a lot of money matters a little. The first dollar you earn is going to make a big, big difference. The next dollar just a little less. And by the time you are earning your millionth dollar, it's just not mattering much. Now note, the curve never goes down. It doesn't look like, oops, I hit the point where I've got too damn much money. But what does happen is very soon, earning more dollars isn't giving you much of a boost. What is this inflection point? There's arguments about it. Some people think it's as high as $100,000 a year, some as low as $40,000 a year. It's nowhere near what you might have imagined being millions of dollars per year. So now, an economist I once showed this graph to an economist. He said, it always occurred to me that if money doesn't make you happy, you're just not spending it right. That actually may be true. It might not be an inviolable law of nature that the curve has to go like that. It might just be that people who are accumulating huge amounts of wealth are not doing with it what they could do with it to make themselves happier. So a nice example, almost everybody who starts to make a lot of money moves out of a city and buys a big house. Error! Error! People adapt very quickly to the square footage of their house. A bigger house makes you happy for about a minute. Commuting makes you unhappy every day because it's a new, different kind of hell. Commuting is a very negative correlate of happiness. Do not trade a mile for another square foot. It's almost always a bad deal. But when people get up on that curve, that's exactly what they do. What else do they do? Well, they keep their money. And studies show that, in fact, people can get a lot more happiness from spending it on others than spending it on themselves. Simple. This just came out in Science this year. A beautiful little study. You bring students into the laboratory, you hand them $20, and you go outside, go out and spend this, come back in an hour. Half of them you say, buy yourself something nice. The others, you have to give it away. You measure how happy they are when they come back. It's a wildly big effect. The people who gave it away are just beaming. I gave $20 to this guy. It was really great. He looked at me and he smiled so fantastic. The other people went, yeah, I got a new pen. It's cool. Right? So we may be doing the wrong things with money. Now, I told you there were two facts about money to know. The first is that a little buys you a lot and a lot buys you a little. The second fact about money that we know is nicely illustrated by these data. Here's real income in the United States over 30 years. You all know this. Americans have gotten richer and richer in real dollars. Here's happiness over 30 years. Nada. Nothing has changed. Now, if money buys you some happiness, shouldn't that line at least be going up? Well, it turns out it's not absolute dollars that makes people happy. It's relative dollars. It's not one economist put it nicely. The best predictor of a man's happiness is not his salary. It's his salary divided by his brother-in-law's salary. Yes. It's not how much money you are making. It's how much more money you are making than other people. Relative dollars are the better predictor of happiness. What this suggests is that we are all on a treadmill. That is, every time all of us get a dollar, it makes no difference because we're in the same position. I'm running after the guy who makes just a little bit more than me, wishing for what he had. And every time I get $100,000 extra, then so does he. And damn it, I'm in the same darn place. So the suggestion, I guess, from these data is that probably you should start hanging out with poorer people.